So, hello, good afternoon. So, ngayon lang ako makakapag-upload. Pasensya na, very busy these past few days. So, this will be the continuation of our previous discussion about strategic management. Um, so, let's have a brief review. So, strategic management is a set of managerial decisions and actions that help determine the long-term performance of an organization. So, again, it's not only planning, it's doing or creating decisions for the long term. So, when you say strategy, it's more on the long term. Okay. And if you remember, kung natatanda ninyo, we have phases of strategic management. So, first one is the basic financial planning. So, yun yung time na budget lang ang iniintindi. For example, may upcoming project, may proposal. So, hanap lang, gagawa sila ng proposed budget. And there is very little analysis. Then, next phase is forecast-based planning. So, magpropose sila ng 5-year plans. So, most of the time, the projects may take more than 1 year. Right? And yung pagde-decide or pag-gather ng data is just when only needed. Yun yung ad hoc basis lang. And it was actually time-consuming. Then, naisip nila masyadong matagal. So, gawa tayo externally oriented strategic planning. Yun yung phase 3. So, ano yung meron sa externally oriented strategic planning? Tinanggal nila yung decision making dun sa mga lower level management. So, ang mga nandoon lang ay mga top managements lang or top managers lang ang nagde-decide, and they hired kaya external kasi they hired consultants to help them out in deciding or creating a strategy. And last, the last phase is strategic management. So, nagbago. Parang kasing dun sa phase 3, hindi na involved yung lower management. So, medyo nagkakaroon na rin ng politicking or medyo namumulitika na sila kasi syempre, itong project ko, mas mataas yung kailangan na budget, ganito, ganyan. Tapos tinanggalan ng voice yung lower management. So, it's kinda parang hindi involved. And sa fourth, pero, in-involve na ulit nila yung lower management or lower level, and as well as involved consultants. Hindi nila tinanggal yung consultants. So, yung decision making all throughout, hindi lang siya from top to bottom, pero interactive across all levels. Hindi na siya strictong top to bottom. And at the same time, they're getting ideas from their consultants. And that is strategic management. Yun yung phase 4. Now, in our topic, we will have the challenges to strategic management. So, syempre, when you say, when you are creating your strategy, maraming mga factors na makaka-affect, right? And ito na yung mga yon. So, ano yung una? Okay, globalization. So, what is globalization? It is the integrated internalization of markets and corporations. So, ano yung meron? Dito yung nagkakaroon ng ano tawag dito? Lahat ng products. That's why we can get products that come from other countries. For example, like Dior or Chanel, you can already buy it in the Philippines, pero noon hindi, diba? So that is globalization. It's when the products and services are made available across the world. And one example, the interconnected nature of the global financial community meant that the mortgage lending problems of US banks led to a global financial crisis that started in 2008 and impacted economies for years. So that's one of the drawback nga ng globalization. So lalo na ang nagli-lead ng financial market is the US kasi nga siya yung number 1. Pero pagdating ng recession, pag yan bumagsak, kung natatandaan ninyo yung mga tao is puro utang sa mga credit cards nila, ayun, talagang bumagsak yung ekonomiya nila. and apektado lahat ng banks or financial or economy ng mga bansa. Okay? So that is one factor na globalization has an impact. Okay, next one. Nike and Reebok manufacture shoes in countries with Asia. So as you know, especially China, Vietnam, ganun. Meron yung mga items nila na sabihin made in Vietnam or made in China, but it was sold in the US. It is because, of course, the labor cost in these countries, in Asian countries, are far more cheaper or far cheaper than those or than when they manufacture it in the US. So for example, kaya kung merong mga relatives na nasa abroad, pabili ng ganitong shoes, ganito ganyan, and then only to find out pag pinadala made in China, wag kayong ma-disappoint kasi talagang ganun. Okay? Original pa rin yan. So, another one, IBM outsources agents from India due to their English language proficiency and lower wages. Yeah, not only IBM, that's why there's this BPO industry in the Philippines because, of course, we are proficient in the English language as well. And it was actually flourishing. It actually helped the Philippine economy before nung nagbukas ang mga call centers dito sa Pinas. Okay? Of course, however, syempre yung mga Kano, yung mga ibang, yung mga Kano medyo nagiging racist sila na they are telling Asians na you are stealing our jobs, ganito ganyan. Kasi syempre, yun nga, mas mura yung salary ng Pinas kumpara sa kanila. So mas gusto nilang mag-outsource. All right. So that is one of the impact of globalization. Okay, next one, the impact of innovation. Ayan. So, as the term is used in business, is meant to describe new products, services, methods, and organizational approaches that allow the business to achieve extraordinary returns. So, it's the innovation, it's developing or it is improving a certain service or a product. If you remember correctly, di ba, ano ba yung pagkakaiba ng invention and innovation? Invention is when you just invented it didn't reach the market, but when you say innovation, it reached the market. So that is the difference. Another one, when you say innovation, it doesn't mean na when it was invented or company A invented first, for example, a smartphone, just an example, hindi ibig sabihin na sila na yung mangunguna or hindi ibig sabihin na forever na sila na ang mangunguna. Take a look at this one. PC tablets had been developed and sold, but iPad stormed the market. Why? So available na pala yung PC tablets. So bakit? Ano yung pinagkaiba? Kasi mas lalong mas nag-innovate pagdating sa services, pagdating sa specifications ang iPad. That's why pumatok siya sa market. And again, that is innovation. They developed new things or they improved something that is existing. Okay? So, oops. Meron pa pala. To. Yun nga. Innovation is the machine that generates business opportunities in the market. However, it is the implementation of potential innovations that truly drives businesses to be remarkable. So that's what we are talking about earlier. So, generates business opportunities. However, the implementation of potential innovations truly drives businesses to be remarkable. So, again, hindi porke sila yung una ay forever na silang maghahari sa market. Merong competitor na they would try to improve what is existing now. And yun yung papatok. Okay? Okay. So, next one. Impact of sustainability. So, sustainability refers to the use of business practices to manage the triple bottom line. So when you say sustainable, you can live on your own. Okay? So merong three things na na gustong abutin ng mga companies. If you remember your corporate social responsibility, one of the things there would be sustainability. So ano yon? Management of traditional profit and loss, management of the company's social responsibility, and management of its environmental responsibility. So tatlo yan. Sustainability, ano yan? Sustainability. So of course the money, and social response to the society, and its environment. So dapat kumikita si company. Of course, how can it be sustainable? How can it sustain, of course, itself? Kahit ikaw tutulong ka sa ibang tao, ikaw hindi mo matulungan ang sarili mo, hindi mo nga mabuhay ang sarili mo, 'di ba? So first, they need to sustain itself. Second one, the management of the company's social responsibility, they have to give an impact to the society itself. So, paano ba yung mga, alam niyo na yung CSR natin, how can they give back to the society? What can they contribute to the society? And lastly, for the environment, how can they help the environment? Maybe reduce carbon footprints in their production. How, diba? Or maybe change their packaging into environmental friendly packaging, something like that. So yan yung sustainable, yun yung gustong i-achieve ng sustainability. Okay? It means that the company has to be able to thrive despite changes in the industry, society, and the physical environment. This is the focus of much of this textbook and the focus of strategy in business. Okay? How can it survive despite of the challenges? Everything can change. Itong pandemic nga, hindi nga natin alam, di ba? So, merong mga pagbabago na kailangan nating pagdaanan. And the thing here is, paano tayo magsusurvive? Okay? So, next one. So, meron tayong mga theories of organizational adaptation. So, let's discuss it one by one. So, theory of population ecology. According to this theory, once an organization is successful, once an organization is successfully established in a particular environment niche, it is unable to adapt to changing conditions. Inertia prevents the organization from changing in any significant manner. The company is thus replaced, is bought out, or goes bankrupt by other organizations more suited to the new environment. Yun yung mahirap talaga. For example, kung yun lang yung nakasanayan nila, but everything is changing, how can they cope, or how can they adapt to the trends that are happening? Inertia prevents organization from changing in any significant manner. Kung baga, nandun na yung momentum. So, ang hirap nilang itigil yung nakasanayan na. That is a theory of population ecology. It's really hard to change. But it is doomed. It will be doomed if, it won't change. As what it is mentioned here, it might be bought by a bigger company or a company that can sustain itself through the changes, or it can go bankrupt. Okay, so that's the first theory. Next one. So theories of organizational adaptation institution theory. It proposes that organizations can and do adapt to changing conditions by imitating other successful organizations. So, dito naman, pwede daw, according to this theory, pwede daw na mag-survive kung gagayahin daw nila, can and do imitating. Kung gagayahin daw nila ang ibang companies na successful. However, 'di ba, hindi naman hindi naman kasi laging ang flaw lang dito, hindi naman kasi laging parehas kayo ng situation, right? You can maybe you can imitate them, but the results might not be the same. Kasi baka hindi naman kasi kayo parehas. You can imitate it, but the outcomes might not be the same. But according to this organizational adaptation, yeah, my point. Syempre, kaya nga 'di ba, kahit tayo may mga ina-idolize tayo, may mga we look up to people or celebrities who are successful, especially those rags to riches. Yeah, we can imitate them on what they did, we can imitate them on their characteristics, but of course you are not the same. Your situation is not the same, right? So maybe you can imitate it, but not really that exact. The outcome might vary. Okay, next one. And strategic choice perspective. So, dito. Strategic choice perspective goes a significant step further by proposing that not only do organizations adapt to a changing environment, but they also have the opportunity and power to reshape their environment. So, mas matindi. So the decisions of a firm's management have at least as great an impact, or have at least a great impact on the firm's performance as an overall industry factor. Okay. So dito, hindi lang basta, according to this theory, hindi lang siya basta-basta kailangang mag-adapt to changes, pero meron siyang power to reshape their environment. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, hindi lang siya mag-a-adapt. Meron siyang kakayahan para mabago ang environment. Wow. Okay. So, ayan. Pwedeng i-dictate niyang market, let's say. So, next one is organizational learning theory. An organization adjusts defensively to a changing environment and uses knowledge offensively to improve the fit between itself and its environment. So, organizational learning. So, ibig sabihin, an organization needs to learn para makasurvive siya. So, uses knowledge offensively to improve the fit between itself and its environment. Okay, from the word learning. Okay. So, ayan, a learning organization is an organization skilled at creating, acquiring, and transferring knowledge and modifying its behavior to reflect new knowledge and insights. So when you say you say learning organization, ang bilis nila, parang kaya nilang mag-adapt sa changes because they are learning or they are studying it, and then from the knowledge that they acquired, then they can modify its behavior, and dun sila makaka-adapt sa bagong environment. So 4 main activities of learning organization: solving problems systematically, experimenting with new approaches, so they are not afraid to try new approaches. Yun yung problema, di ba? You have to unlearn so that you can learn. What do you mean by you have to unlearn so that you can learn? For example, nakasanayan mo na yung ganitong habit. Maybe, okay, example, maybe smoking. Okay. For example, smoking, it's already your habit, but you wanted to change because you know that it's killing you, right? So you have to unlearn what you have learned. So there is no learning, okay? There's a saying na there's no learning kung hindi mo ginagawa yon. Yes, you know na masama ang smoking, but there's no learning kung ginagawa mo pa din yun, which is mali. Alright? So you have to unlearn, you have to change, you have to remove the habit of smoking para masabi na natutunan mo talaga na masama yung smoking and you wanted to live a healthy lifestyle. Okay? So that's it. experimenting with the new approaches, learning from their own experiences and past history as well as from the experiences of others. O, ayan. So, yung mga marurupok dyan. Okay? Kung hindi ka na niya mahal, move on na. Ganun. Learn from your own experience. Huwag na magpakamartir. So, parang ganun din sa mga organizations. They have to learn from their own experiences. Huwag magpakatanga, besh. Okay? Kung ano na, sinaktan ka na, tama na. Ganun din yon. Learning from their own experience and past history as well as from the experiences of others. So, for example, yung isang friend, diba? Alam niyo na yan, yung isang friend mo, niloko, ganito, ganyan. So, wag mo nang gayahin. You have to learn from her experience. So, ganun din sa business or sa organization. And transferring knowledge quickly and efficiently throughout the organization. So, transferring knowledge quickly and efficiently throughout the organization. Take note, an organization is a group of people, right? So there may be a hierarchy or what, I don't know. But it's actually, this is an organization. It is composed of people within it. Now, the thing here is that's why communication is very important. So it's not only transfer, it's not only actually communicating it is transferring knowledge quickly and efficiently. So probably it also involves training, communications and trainings, or andyan din yung controlling, okay, para makita kung talagang natutunan nila. Again, there's no learning if it's not being done. Okay, so that is, or those are the 4 main activities of learning organization. So if you have questions, again, please, I'm gonna post it in GCR, an open forum for questions. Okay, so next one. Basic model of strategic management. Sorry naman, yan. Basic model of strategic management. So strategic management consists of 4 basic elements. So ano yun? Environmental scanning, strategy formulation, strategy implementation, evaluation, and control. So ano yung meron sa environmental scanning? It is the monitoring, evaluating, and disseminating of information. The usual SWOT analysis, yan yun. Okay? Yan yung environmental scanning. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And I know you already know about this one because you already discussed this way back in your senior high school. So strengths and weaknesses, these are the internal things or internal factors. And when you say internal factors, the management has control over these factors. Whereas for opportunities and threats, these are the external factors, and usually the management doesn't have control. No control. Okay? So, yan yon. External environment, opportunities, and threats are not controlled by top management. So, one example of opportunities or threats would be the competition. So, for instance, parang ganun, parang mababago, or kunwari, meron kang shop and may nagpatayo din ng similar industry or similar business sa kapitbahay or si kapitbahay, mapipigilan mo ba siya? Syempre hindi. But you know that it is a threat, but how can you counter it? How can you be prepared for possible competition? So that is external environment. Hindi porque hindi nakokontrol, hindi ka nagagalaw. Siyempre, kumilos ka din. Gawan mo ng paraan. Okay? So those are external environment. Okay. Next one. So, yan, SWOT analysis, not controlled by top management, internal environment, strengths and weaknesses. that are within the organization itself. Includes corporation, or it include corporation structure, culture, capabilities, and resources. So of course, these are the things that the management or the company culture can be controlled. Culture is not the kultura itself, na Pilipinong kultura, hindi it's the company's culture. Okay, for example, a certain business or a certain university, a certain university's culture is open to LGBTQ. So it means na yung mga students pwedeng mag-cross-dress, or they can you know or gentlemen, or yeah, those who belong to those, how do you call this one, gender, can freely show or can freely express themselves, maybe through their hair. So that's a culture that the universe, or that university wanted to show. So that's similar to that one. For example, another thing, maybe an organization's culture promotes equality among men and women. So this means their policies are open to all men and women. For example, for promotions, something like that. Okay? So hindi ito yung kultura na Pilipinas na kultura, hindi. It's the company's culture. So everything or these factors can be controlled. Okay. Next one, strategy formulation. So strategy formulation is the process of investigation, analysis, and decision making that provides the company with the criteria for attaining a company or a competitive advantage. So it includes defining the competitive advantages of the business, identifying weaknesses that are impacting the company's ability to grow, crafting the corporate mission, specifying achievable objectives, and setting policy guidelines. So again, strategy is the long-term thing. And kaya meron tayong mga mission and vision that is part of the strategy. Okay? So, ayan. Crafting corporate mission, specifying achievable objectives. Objectives, if you remember, it should be SMART, right? Specific, measurable, achievable or attainable, realistic, and time-bound. And setting policy guidelines. So, isa-isahin natin yan. Ayan. Mission. It is the purpose or reason for the organization's existence. It announces what the company is providing to society. Research reveals that firms with mission statements containing explicit descriptions of their competitive advantage have significantly higher growth than firms without such statements. Mission describes what the organization is now. Ano daw yon? It describes what the organization is now. It's at present. Though mission and vision would, we would want to incorporate vision within the mission. So later on, we'll discuss about that. So yan yung mga mission statement, ganun. Okay? So studies show na kapag merong mission statement or mga may mission and vision ng isang company, mas lalo siyang nagiging successful. Kasi goal-driven siya eh. Yan. It describes the vision, describes what the organization would like to become. We prefer to combine these ideas into a single mission statement. So again, mission now, vision what would like to become. We would like to be in the future. So we are defining, so ayan, may konting Pause. Hindi, may kumatok kasi. So, ganun. So, going back. Going back, ayan. So, ansa na ba ako? So, the purpose, ayan nga. So, mission is now. It's like defining where we are now, whereas your vision would be what you want to be in the future. And it should be, it would be preferred if it is in a single mission statement. So, in the open forum or in the online forum, I want you to search some Philippine-based companies and comment their mission and vision statement. Okay. Share. So I want put it in the PowerPoint itself so that I would know whether you read this one or not. Or you watched this video or not. So share a Philippine company's mission and vision statement, preferably a combined one. Okay. Comment it in the open or in the online forum in Google Classroom. Ayan. So let me see whether you are really watching this video or not. Okay, so there you are. So I'm gonna delete this now. Ayan. Clear all drawings. Okay. So next one. Ay, mali. Ayan. So, meron tayong next, objectives versus goal. So most of the time, they are the same. They might be the same, but they're not. So objectives are the end results of a planned activity. They should be stated as action verbs and tell employees what is to be accomplished and when with appropriate metrics. Example, to increase the firm's profitability in 2017 by 10% over 2016. So take a look at it. It's quantifiable. It's measurable, right? You can measure it by 10% over 2016. And it is the goal to increase the firm's profitability. Pero kapag si goal, wala, open-ended statement lang siya. Walang quantifiers, wala. So, with no quantification of what is to be achieved and no time criteria. So again, pag goal, walang quantifiers, walang time expression. Dito sa objective, meron. Or walang time, yon. So example, to improve the company's customer service. So yeah, that's a goal, but it's not measurable, okay? So that's those are some examples of it. So again, objectives versus goals. Okay, next one. So there are 3 types of strategy. Okay. A strategy is a comprehensive master approach that states how the business will achieve its mission and objectives. So there are 3 types of strategy. 1 is corporate, 2 is business, and 3rd is functional. So when you say corporate, it describes a company's overall direction in terms of growth and the management of its various businesses. Corporate strategies generally fit within the 3 main categories of stability, growth, and retrenchment. So again, ito yung corporate medyo as a top siya, top level. So overall, direction of company and management of its business. Overall, okay. Next, si business naman usually occurs at the business unit or product level, emphasizes improvement of the competitive position of a corporation's products or services. So kung baka si business strategy is more on the operational side. So ito na yung product level. Paano ba? Itong si corporate, ito yung mga, pwedeng yung mga, yan, yung strategy, yung mga mission. Si business, yan yung what? Yan yung kung paano yung, tag dito, strategy para ma-implement yung mga binigay na guidelines ni corporate strategy. Yun. It's on the product level. It emphasizes on the improvement of the competitive position. How can they compete with the other companies or with the other businesses? Okay? So, meron dalawang categories dito sa business strategy. First is competitive and cooperative. So, ano yung competitive? So, malamang from the word itself, competitive. How can they have a competitive edge over their competitors? Ano yung gagawin nila? Ano yung plano nila para mas okay sila kaysa sa mga kakompetensya? So one example is Staples. So Staples in the US differentiated their company or differentiated their retail stores by adding services to its stores like copying, UPS shipping, and hiring mobile technicians to fix computers. So, malamang hindi sila ang tawag dito, hindi kaparehas, hindi ang tawag dito, hindi ang tawag dito, para sila maiba, para sila may edge. Ano yung kakaiba from them para sila magkaroon ng edge? Okay. So next one is cooperative. It's about forming an alliance. Okay, to form an alliance. So for example, Intel and Microsoft against AMD. So Intel, ano ba yung meron kay Intel? 'Di ba si Intel is like a microchip processor. Then nakipag-partner sila sa Microsoft. That's why kapag bibili ka ng Windows, automatically meron na siyang Intel na nakalagay na processor. So magkakaroon sila ng edge against AMD. Okay. And functional strategy. Functional strategy is the approach taken by a functional area to achieve corporate and business unit objectives, and strategies by maximizing resource productivity. If you remember the 5 functions or 4 functions of the 4 or 5 of the business, yun yung what? Management, human resource, ano pa? Management, human resource, marketing, finance, or accounting, and research and development. So those are the functions of the business, of a business. So under siya ng per function na yon. So one example would be, ang tawag dito, under the R&D functional strategy, meron tinatawag na technological followership or imitating products of other companies, and technological leadership, pioneering and innovation. All right. Of course, Apple would be an example of a technological leadership kasi nga sila yung nanguna pagdating sa mga mga innovation sa smartphone. Napag-aralan naman natin yan. Sila yung nag-lead sa market. But then, nowadays, to be honest, before they were leading, but Android phones are actually now competing as well. So, some Android phones are already copying, or not really copying, maybe somehow copying the features of Apple. And bakit ganon? Syempre, mas okay yun kasi hindi na sila masyadong nag-i-spend sa research and development. Tapos mabilis kasi kakopyahin lang nila, konting innovation lang. And kung kukunti yung nagastos nila sa R&D, ibig sabihin, pwede nilang i-offer ng cheaper yung mga items or products nila. So, that is what? R&D functional strategy. So, okay, that's one. Another one under the marketing functional strategies. So, for example, Procter & Gamble, master of the marketing pool strategy. Ibig sabihin, they spend a lot of money, or they have a lot of budget on ads, TV ads. This is the pull strategy in marketing to create demand. Okay, so question, Kailangan ba na isa-isa lang ang strategy o lahat? Siyempre lahat. So business firms use all three types of strategy simultaneously. Ito yung hierarchy nga eh. So top, middle, and bottom. Okay? So business firms use all three types. A hierarchy of strategy is a grouping of strategy types by level in the organization. Hierarchy of strategies, nesting of one strategy within another so that they complement and support one another. Yan yung sinasabi ko kanina. So, di ba, nagbigay si corporate strategy ng mga mission and vision, then how? Business strategy should also what? Create their objectives or create their strategy para mag-follow dun sa directives dun sa taas. Umayon dun sa overall strategy ng company. And of course, functional, yung per department. Paano ma-ensure na magkakaroon ng, 'di ba, for example sa corporate strategy, to offer, for example lang, okay? Offer affordable yet quality products. Yeah, very generic. So let's say affordable yet quality products. So business strategy, ano yung competitive dito? Ano kaya? Competitive o cooperative? Kung sakaling quality ang gusto at affordable, edi mag-cooperative na lang tayo. Or pwedeng pwedeng competitive pero medyo mas mahal tayo ng resources dyan. So, pwedeng cooperative na lang. Pwede tayong mag-tie up sa isang company na related sa atin na magko-complement sa ating products. Alright? So, and then, functional strategy. So, ano ba? Since gusto ng affordable, dapat hindi tayo masyadong malaki. Hindi dapat masyadong mahal ang expenditures natin. So, gawin na lang natin si sa R&D, mangopya na lang tayo tas konting innovation lang. Parang ganon. Or tas mag-rely na lang tayo sa word of mouth. Total naman, at least quality products natin. Konti lang i-enhance natin and ma-offer natin ng mas mura. So, ganyan yung parang dapat nagsusuportahan yung tatlong strategies na yan. Okay? Para ma-achieve yun. Okay, so another one in your open forum or in your in your online forum. Okay, share. Okay, that ano ba? That implement a or imitating or technological followership strategy. Okay. This is a functional strategy, okay? Ayan. Okay. Share an international company that implement a technological followership strategy. Okay, and cooperative business strategy. So this is business. Share it in the online forum. Ayan, I'll give you time. Okay? So that's it. Next one. Medyo mahaba-haba pa. Bear with me. Okay. Ayan. Policy. A policy is a broad guideline for decision-making that links the formulation of a strategy with its implementation. It makes sure that employees throughout the firm make decisions and take actions that support the corporation's mission, objectives, and strategies. So, policy. Alam mo yan, company policy. Ayan. Alam niyo na yan. Yun yung mga rules. Okay? So, for example, in Google's healthcare plan includes their on-site medical staff. So, any employee who feels ill at work can make an appointment with a doctor at the Googleplex. This supports the Google HRM functional strategy to support its employees. So, di ba ang ganda? Ang gandang mag-work sa Google. Sana ang daling makapasok. Ang ganda ng mga nila, policies nila. 'Di ba, if I remember correctly, meron yung isa na kapag namatay daw ang employee ng Google, bibigyan daw ng monetary and allowances din yung naiwan na family, ng malaking amount of money. So, wow. Ang galing ng Google lang. So that's one of their policies. Another, Starbucks. So all Starbucks employees are offered a total pay package that includes a 401,000 savings plan. Wow! Stock options and an employee stock purchase plan. This goes a long way toward their goal of having every employee feel like a partner in the business. So that's their strategy. They wanted their employees to be partners in business, and that's why they really give them not only the salary, but also a lot of benefits, such as this one, like, stock options. Wow, ang laki nun ah. They are given the opportunity to invest in stocks. So that's really a good thing. So yan. So, all right. Next one would be strategy implementation. Pasensya na. Ayusin ko na lang yung title niyan mamaya. So strategy implementation is a process by which strategies and policies are put into action through the development of programs, budgets, and procedures. So paano mo ba i-implement yung strategy? Paano mo maisasagawa? So first one, programs and tactics. A program or a tactic is a statement of the activities or steps needed to support a strategy. The terms are interchangeable. So a program is a collection of tactics, and tactic is the individual action taken by the organization. Again, kapag overall, it's a collection of tactic, it's a program. Kapag tactic, ito yung nag-iisa, ito yung mga single actions na nag-comprise ng program. Okay? These are the steps needed to support a strategy. Ayan. So, ayan. So, a program or tactic makes a strategy action-oriented. Next, budgets, costing programs. A budget is a statement of a corporation's programs in terms of dollars. A budget lists the detailed cost of each program. Okay, hurdle rate, percentage on ROI. So malamang in every budget there should be some costing, right? So how? It should be prepared. Ayan, to give the list and actions of each program. So it must be prepared and it must be, ano na yun? It must be prepared and it must be approved. Ayun, bayan, nawawala na ako. Na-distract ako. It must be approved by the management. And before they approve, they are saying that there should be a hurdle rate. Ano yon? See to it na magkakaroon ng percentage on ROI. Dapat may balik. There should be a hurdle rate or a percentage on ROI na babalik, na makukuha before it will be approved. Okay? Wait lang. So, ayan. Pasensya na may kumausap sa akin. Ayan ulit. So, next one. Procedures, detailing activities. Procedures, sometimes termed standard operating procedures, SOP, are a system of sequential steps or techniques that describe in detail how a particular task or job is to be done. They typically detail the various activities that must be carried out in order to complete the corporation's program. So, yan, yung SOP, di ba? Sometimes may ma-annoy tayo, pasensya na ma'am sir kasi yan po yung aming SOP. Yan ang aming standard operating procedure. So, wag intindihin na lang natin kasi syempre may reason kung bakit nila ginagawa yan. Wag mag-complain. Okay? So, example dyan, yung sa Home Depot. Depot ba o Depot? Basta yon. So, nagkaroon ng case na kung saan na-realize nila ang dami-daming pila sa may aisle daw sa kanilang shop. Ngayon, napaka-long ng queues. So, minsan, yung mga tao, ayaw na nilang mag-shop doon. So, kasi nga, nagiging inconvenient. Kasi ang daming ang tao. Tapos, may, yung mga staff, ginagawa din kasi nila yung inventory and pricing habang operating hours. So, anong ginawa ni Home Depot or Depot? Nag-implement sila ng policy na kung saan ang mga staff ay mag-inventory na lang at magpa-pricing at the end of the day before sila mag-close para full time sila or during the day hours, during the operating hours, kaya nilang i-assist ang mga customers, kaya nilang mas focused ang kanilang staff sa customer service. And of course, upselling. So tumaas ang sales after nilang ginawa yun. So those are the procedures. Ayan. Evaluation and control. So evaluation and control is a process in which corporate activities and performance results are monitored so that actual performance can be compared with desired performance. So dito nga ito yung kumbaga, ito ang gusto natin. Ito ang gusto natin. Nasaan tayo? 'Di ba? Paano natin or na-ensure ba na ito na-achieve ba natin? Baka naman nandito lang tayo. So, paano natin makikita yan about sa numbers? Okay, for example, ang target natin, so kunwari sa sales, ang target natin 500 per day. Kaso ang nangyayari lang is 200 lang. So, mababa. So, anong pwedeng gawin para ma-achieve yung 500? So, that's evaluation control. Pagdating din sa mga performance ng empleyado, ganun din. So, mga key performance indicators sa mga customer services, right? Kung tatawag ka sa mga hotline or sa customer service ng mga PLDT, Globe, or Converge, laging merong rating sa huli. So, pwede ko ba kayong makuha na ng survey? Ganun. Kasi, subject yun sa kanilang KPI. Key Performance Indicators. Ibig sabihin, doon tinitingnan, maganda ba, satisfactory ba yung ginawa niya na pagka-customer service or hindi? May rubrics yan. So, yan ang basehan. At makikita ng quality assurance kung na-reach ba nila yan. Okay, ayan. So, also, it's, you know, it's a way for them to take corrective actions and resolve problems. Sabi ko nga kanina, paano natin gagawing 500 yan from 200? Parang ganon. Okay, next one. Evaluation and control. Ayan, yun pala. Ability to improve an organization's performance measured in terms of profits and return on investment. Yeah, ay mga financial statements nyo dyan yung makikita kung okay ba ang performance ng company o hindi. For evaluation and control to be effective, managers must obtain clear, prompt, and unbiased information from the people below them in the corporation's hierarchy. Ayan. So, yon. So, example dito ay Starbucks. So, anong meron kay Starbucks? Okay, kwentuhan time ulit. So, si Howard Schultz, siya yung founder and CEO. Nag-step down siya. At ang pumalit sa kanyang CEO ay si Jim Donald. Again, si Schultz yung owner and founder. Bumaba siya, tapos ang pumalit sa kanya si Jim Donald. Kaso, nung under ni Jim Donald, biglang bumulusok yung sales. Tama ba yung term ko? Basta biglang bumaba. Bumulusok. Di ko alam kung pataas yung pababa. But anyway, basta biglang bumaba yung sales nila. From, according to nga dun sa case, dun sa textbook, from American Success Story to 97% drop in net income. So, ang laki. So, 97% drop. Ang laki nun. So, nanganganib ang Starbucks. So, meron yung time na si Schultz, yung founder, nagsulat daw kay Donald in 2007 na nagsasabi na, uy, nire-remind kita, uy, balik ka dun sa core elements natin. Baka kasi masyado yung ginagawa mong pagiging iba. Nakilala tayo sa ganito, sa kape. Bakit parang nag-offer ka ng mga sandwiches, ganito, ganyan. Parang naging breakfast na. Nasaan na yung element ng coffee? Parang ganun. So, siguro, hindi nagiging patok yun, hindi nagiging maganda yung pagiging innovator, hindi nagiging maganda yung changes na ini-implement ni Donald. So, again, take note, hindi lahat ng changes na ini-implement, yung sa gustuhan mong i-innovate ay tama. So, kailangan mo pa rin tignan. Diba? Again, you need to know the demand, right? You need to understand, you need to study before, and seeing na kung hindi mag-improve, ayun na nga. Nung hindi nag-improve, bumalik si, Schultz at pinalitan si Donald as CEO. So, bumalik si Schultz, siya yung founder. So, anong ginawa ni Schultz? Napakalaki ng ginawa niyang desisyon. In February 2008, all 7,100 plus Starbucks in North America shut their doors for a 3-hour video conference with Schultz so they could reset the Starbucks experience. Again, reset? Diba? Anong ibig sabihin nun? Talagang babaguhin daw. Yun yung naalala ko to parang usap-usapan na magsasara na yung Starbucks. Ayan, parang si Dunkin Donut din, parang nag-iba din. But anyway, so ayan, he shut down almost 1,000 outlets. Tingnan nyo guys 1,000 outlets, walang patumpik-tumpik na i-shut down yung 1,000 outlets and instituted a series of moves aimed at returning the company to its preeminent position. Kasi ang goal niya ay bumalik sa dating status. So walang sayang-sayang dyan. Close ang 1,000, kailangan nating i-reset. Kailangan nating bumalik sa dati para ma-regain natin yung edge dito sa coffee market. So the turnaround at Starbucks has been a remarkable story of regaining the cash they almost lost. Ayun. So malaking desisyon, 'di ba? Siya na daw yung 1,000 tapos talagang bumalik siya. Anong ginawa niya? Tinanggal daw niya yung mga sandwiches, yung mga breakfast at nag-focus sa coffee experience. Kasi ang gusto niya, ang main kasi ng Starbucks, parang it's a comfortable coffee shop away from home, parang ganon, with the comfort of coffee, yon. And nung nawala yung mga breakfast, bumalik sa kape-kape lang, yung mga barista, may mga time pa na makipagkwentuhan sa mga clients nila, yung mga chill-chill lang, parang ganon. Hindi yung dati na parang fast food ang nangyayari, na to go breakfast na coffee, tapos cheese bun or I don't know, sandwich, tas alis na. So, ayun, na-regain nila yung market. So, napakagaling ni Schultz bilang siya yung founder. Okay? Next one, feedback or learning process. As a firm or business unit develops strategies, programs, and the like, it often must go back to revise or correct decisions made earlier in the process. See, just like Schultz, right? He corrected the changes that Donald made. Walang patumpik-tumpik na pinasarang 1,000 outlets worldwide. Ayan. So, okay. So, for example, poor performance as measured in evaluation and control usually indicates that something has gone wrong with either strategy for implementation. Okay? Yun nga yung sabi natin kanina. Yung key performance strategies. So, there are triggering events. Ngayon, a triggering event is something that acts as a stimulus for a change in strategy. So, ito yung, stimulus, ito yung magsasabi na kailangan mo ng pagbabago or nag-initiate ng pagbabago. So, first is new CEO, external intervention, threat of changes, performance gap, strategic inflection point. Ayan. So, next one. Strategic decision making. Okay. Strategic decisions deal with the long-term future of an entire organization. Again, it deals with the long-term future of an entire organization and have three characteristics. First is rare. Rare, okay. Strategic decisions are unusual and typically have no precedent to follow. Okay? Ibig sabihin, yung decision niya, walang prior, walang prerequisite, walang event before that one. Next is consequential. Strategic decisions commit substantial resources and demand a great deal of commitment from people at all levels. So, again, of course, if you made a strategic decision, there are consequences, just like that one, right? Schultz wanted to go back to being the first or being the number one, the leading brand when it comes to coffee. So, and there is a consequence for that. Anong consequence noon? Pinasara niya yung 1,000, kailangan niyang i-reset lahat, kailangan niyang tanggalin ang mga breakfast menus at bumalik sa coffee experience. Directive, strategic decisions set precedents for lesser decisions and future actions throughout an organization. So, again, dito sa rare, sabi niya, wala siyang event na nangyari prior. Okay, pero dito sa directive, siya ang gumawa ng event para sundan ng mga susunod na taon or susunod na management. Okay, future actions. Okay, so sila ang nagsiset ng directive. Sila yung nagsiset ng precedent. Okay. So, ayan. Malapit na guys. Bear with me. So, Mintzberg's modes of strategic decision making. Entrepreneurial mode, strategies made by one powerful individual. Yan. Apat pala siya. Entrepreneurial, adaptive, and planning. And itong fourth, logical incrementalism, ay kay Quinn, hindi kay Mintzberg. So, itong tatlo lang ang kay Mintzberg. Itong logical incrementalism kay Quinn. Again, hindi kay Mintzberg. Ayan. So, entrepreneurial mode, strategies made by one powerful individual. The focus is on opportunities. Problems are secondary. Strategy is guided by the founder's own vision of direction and is exemplified by large, bold decisions. So again, dito, hindi problema. Second yung problem. Ito, it's more on what? Opportunities. Entrepreneurial mode, opportunities. Adaptive. Hindi, wait lang. Example. Kilala niyo naman si CEO entrepreneur, si Jeff Bezos na Jeff Bezos na sumikat sa TikTok na kanta. Ayan. Sino ba si Jeff Bezos? Siya yung founder ng Amazon.com. Ngayon, anong meron? Siya ay isang entrepreneurial mode because siya yung unang-unang nagpagawa or nag-found ng Amazon, which is an online shopping platform. Its vision or his vision is using the internet to market everything that can be bought. That is Amazon by Jeff Bezos. That is entrepreneurial mode. Next one, adaptive mode. Sometimes called muddling through, it is a reactive solution to existing problems. Take note guys ha, si entrepreneur, opportunities. Opportunity. Ito, problem. Kumbaga ito, proactive. Ito, reactive. Ibig sabihin, reactive. Ibig sabihin, gandaan ko na nga sulat ko. Kakaya naman. Sa akin, ito, opportunities. Tapos ito, ano na yun? Problems. And it is reactive to problems. Ito naman, medyo proactive siya. Siya yung nangunguna. Okay? So, ayan. Ayan. So, adaptive mode is also called, muddling through. Heart tayo ngayon. Reactive solution to existing problems. So, parang yung ginawa ni sino ba yun? Si Schultz. Nag-react siya dun sa problem. Dahil gusto nilang gumawa siya ng talagang napakalaking decision. Okay? Another one. Kwentuhan time ulit. Encyclopedia Britannica Incorporation. So, alam naman natin about sa Britannica Encyclopedias, right? Ako kasi batang 90s. And uso noon yung mga Grolier. Uso noon yung mga encyclopedias na tawag dito, house to house. Yon, uso yon dati. Si mama ko dati talagang magbibilian ng isang set ng encyclopedias na napakamahal. I remember noong mga 90s, parang 20,000 pesos yun. So, di ba, it's expensive. Hindi ko alam kung saan hinugot ng nanay ko yung pambili, pero siguro installment naman yun, hindi ko alam. Pero talagang at buhay na buhay pa naman ang encyclopedias ko dyan. So, yung panahon yun, wala pang internet. Right? But now, meron ng internet. So, paano nangyari yun? Paano gagawin nila? So, ang ginawa nila, nag-shift sila. So, kailangan natin kumilos, sabi nila siguro. Kung hindi, mamamatay na yung paperback market hardbound market. Mamamatay na siya. Kailangan na nating magkaroon ng soft copy, mga ganun. So, anong ginawa? Nag-adapt sila sa change. So, the company now charges libraries and individual subscribers for complete access via its website and has apps for the iPad and iPhone that costs users $50. $50. So, ang galing, di ba? So, ang ginagawa daw nila, charge daw ang mga libraries ng mga schools. Di ba, may mga online libraries na ngayon, di ba? Charge nila yon para magkaroon sila ng access doon sa mga encyclopedia ng Britannica. Galing. And meron din para sa mga individual users. Okay? May apps din. Meron na rin siyang apps. Okay. So, in May 2012, the company stopped producing the bound set of encyclopedias that had been in print for over 244 years 2 centuries, mga besh, at malapit ng mag-ano, 'di ba? 2 century na hardbound yon, na paperbound. And tinatigil nila dahil lang sa nagbabagong trend. See, it's a big change. So, kailangan talaga nilang mag-adapt sa technology, sa trends ngayon. Kung hindi, mamamatay sila. So, yeah, that is an adaptive mode. Next one, planning mode. This decision-making mode involves the systematic gathering of appropriate information for situation analysis, the generation of feasible alternative strategies, and the rational selection of the most appropriate strategy. It includes both a proactive search for new opportunities and the reactive solution of existing problems. So, in short, it's a combination. Combination yan ng entrep and adaptive. Planning mode, what? Proactive plus reactive. So, ibig sabihin, opportunities plus problems yung planning mode. So, okay, example. IBM under CEO Louis Gerstner is a great example of the planning mode. Focused on services that integrated information technology, IBM thus decided to provide a complete set of services from building systems to defining architecture. Okay, so ganito yon. Dati, more on hardware sila. Benta ng mga hardware, ganun. Mga processor, ganun. But then, napansin nila na bumabang sales. Mababang sales ng top brand or top product nila. Pero ang umaariba sa sales ay yung services nila. However, yung mga charges nila or yung presyo niya or kahit mataas yung sales niya, hindi pa rin niya kayang i-sustain yung IBM company. Kasi siguro maliit lang yung charges nila, service charges nila, I don't know. Basta ganoon, hindi niya kayang sagutin lahat ng expenses or buhayin, kumbaga, hindi niya kayang buhayin lahat ng IBM. Parang for example, parang ganito, kunwari ako, may racket ako, ganoon. Let's say for example, nagbebenta, kunwari nagbebenta ako ng kotse. Siyempre, malakihan 'yon, malaking pera doon, 'di ba? Kapag may commission, for example. Nagbebenta din ako, or aside from that, nagtututor din ako. Kaya lang ang rates ko mababa. Siyempre, hindi naman big time yung kita sa tutorial. Pero ang dami kong kliyente. O, diba? Parang ganon din sa IBM. So, anong ginawa nila? Ang ginawa nila, nag-decide na mag-focus na lang sa services. Pero nag-integrate ng information technology. So, aside from yung mga after-sales services nila, in-integrate pa nila yung mga IT nila. For example, nagbigay sila ng complete service para sa pag-build ng PC. Ayun. Regardless na hindi IBM yung product, pwedeng ibang brand. O, 'di ba? Basta ang importante, minamarket nila yung services nila. So, ayan, yun, parang yun yung bumuhay. Okay? So, bakit naging proactive and reactive? Yung reactive niya, hindi mataas yung sales nung top selling nila na product, pero may opportunity siya sa services kasi mataas ang sales. So, naging proactive siya in the sense na grinab niya yung opportunity niya dun sa market ng services at, tinanggal na lang niya yung pagbebenta ng mga spare parts or pagbebenta ng mga computer parts. Okay? Next, logical incrementalism. A fourth decision-making mode can be viewed as a synthesis of the planning, adaptive, and to a lesser extent, the entrepreneurial modes. So, ibig sabihin, lahat daw ng ito, pinagsama-sama. But it's in an incremental form. Ano ba yung incremental? Increment, pakunti-kunti. Kumbaga, hindi siya pangmalakihang decision. Nagde-decide sila per per situation. Kumbaga ganon. Ayun, interactive process lang siya. Interactive rather than hindi siya yung pangmalakihan na malaking change. Okay? Ayun. Organization probes the future, experiments, and learns from series of partial commitments rather than through global formulations of total strategies. Ayan. Parang small steps, baby steps ang ginagawa nila, pero combination ng tatlo. Ayan. So, okay. Wait lang. Ayan. Strategic decision making process, aid to better decisions. Evaluate. So ano yung mga steps? First, evaluate current performance results, of course. So titignan niyo dyan yung return on investment and current mission objectives, strategies, and policies. Second, review corporate governance. So kaya ba the performance of the firm's board of the directors and top management? Okay ba ang management, corporate governance? Next, scan and assess the external environment. Titingin ng opportunities and threats. Okay. Scan and assess the internal corporate environment. Of course, the strengths and weaknesses. Anong gagawin? Paano i-improve ang weaknesses? Paano pa ma-enhance ang strength? Analyze strategic factors. Pinpoint problems and review and revise the corporate mission objectives as necessary. So titingnan, tama ba? Are we on the right track? Ayan, baka merong mga problem areas, ayusin natin. Kung may mali, kung merong problema, baka kailangan nating i-revise o baguhin ng mission and objectives kung kailangan. Generate, evaluate, and select the best alternative strategies in light of the analysis of conducted in the previous step. So ayan na, after mong mag-analyze, so kailangan mag-generate ng alternative, kailangan mag-isip kung anong gagawin. Implement selected strategies via programs, budgets, and procedures, and evaluate implemented strategies via feedback systems and the control of activities. So these are the steps of strategic management. Decision-making process. Yan. So that's all, guys. All right. Ayun, participate in the online forum, please. That's part. I wanted to know whether you really watched this video and prepare for, a quiz on Monday. Okay. So see you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.